guys, welcome back to another episode of the Corner Flag Talk Podcast. It's your boy John. As we always, we are here to give you the latest in football. Before I introduce everybody, well, just Brandon and Daniel, but not just Brandon and Daniel, but we have Brandon and Daniel here. Please, we would really encourage you guys to just keep sharing the pod. If each was a chance to somebody, we get along a lot more. We've been getting a lot of positive reviews recently about the pod, and we appreciate those support. Oh, here's the thing I really need to ask you all to do, especially if you listen on Apple Podcasts, but Spotify as well. Leave a review. Apparently, these podcast platforms are actually not using the rating system that much and are using the review system to really push pods. So any kind of review, please, anything, we would really, well, not any kind, hopefully a positive kind review, we would really appreciate it. So yeah, but thank you guys for being here so much. We love you all. And with that being said, we have Brand, how was it good, my guy?
I am good. I am good. I just want to say shout out to all our Muslim listeners. Ramadan Mubarak, Ramadan Kareem to all the Muslims who listen to the podcast. Hope you're all doing well today.
Yeah, I would have so butchered that if I had to be the one that said it. And we have Daniel, was it good, my guy?
Same as my brother Brandon. I just want to double down on what he said.
Say
So
I would.
yeah,
Same
everybody, what
news.
he said.
Yeah.
I can't. I can't.
Okay, guys. So, as always, we're here to talk about the latest in football. And so, way better place at the start than with the final ever face off between Klopp and Pep in the Liverpool versus Manchester City game that took place at Anfield this weekend. As usual, Yuan is missing whenever they drop points, so we couldn't get him to come. But it was a 1-all draw thanks to the efforts of Luis Diaz. In a game where probably Liverpool probably felt like they should have won. But I'll pass off the mic here. And Pat, what was your overall thoughts of the game?
I thought the game was really exciting for a general fan. It was end to end to an extent. I mean, it's pretty end
Yeah.
to end. I'll say that it was an end to end game. It seemed to have a lot of passion, a lot of emotions in this game as well, and some quality to an extent. I feel like there was more quality on display in the first half in terms of tactics and whatnot. Second half just looked like, yeah, let's go for it. Both teams. Um, but yeah, man, I really enjoyed watching it, and I'm gonna leave it there. But I hope we can look back more a little bit later and actually talk about this game because I do have some stuff I'd like to mention. But
Yeah, sure. I obviously wasn't entirely neutral given, when my club is facing off with these two. And so, like, imagine me there every single time one of them get close to goal, and I would really like best case for them to draw. Like, I have made multiple scenarios in my head where, like, okay, well, if City win, it can be better for this, or if Liverpool win, it better for this. And then, so then they draw it, and like in my head, I'm like, you know what, boy, both sides drop a point. It's probably the best thing. And every time Luis Diaz got a chance, I was like, bro. Or when City win back the ball and go forward before Kyle Walker throw it away, get an next chance again. And yeah, but Brandon, what was your thoughts on not just the game? And then I want you to tell me who you feel came out better with the result afterwards.
Oh, but I mean, definitely Liverpool came out the better after the game. I mean, when you look at the two starting 11s, you look at the Liverpool backline, it had three youngsters and Van Dijk. And I sent a picture to everybody in the group with, Master Splinter carrying the Ninja Turtles, the young Ninja Turtles. So, I mean, yeah, there was that. I feel like the game was it was very similar to the game at the Etihad earlier in the season, but I
Mhm.
felt like you knew that this game was more important. It just felt like that.
Yeah.
And for the second time, City got the lead. Liverpool came back, and I think the sentiments I had for that game at the Etihad is the same that I have today, which is if there was about 30 more minutes, if there's about 20 more minutes, I think Liverpool would have won this game. So, I feel like that was probably the most standout thing for me. I mean, like, again, we don't have any way to separate both the teams. And,
Mhm.
they did everything they could so far. It's in everybody else's hands now.
Yeah, I mean, this is Look, I'm not just saying this because of, that my team is involved in, but this is one of the greatest title races that we may ever see. This is the first time in Premier League history that past the 26 game week mark that all three teams are above 60 points. There is currently 1 point splitting first and third. That is how close that we are talking about it. And there are some talking points that come out of this. There was some decisions by both managers that we can question. There were some on-field decisions as well, such as Doku went studs in on McAllister's chest. What are we feeling about that? Was it a pen? Was it not? All those who think it was a pen, we could get an A. Yeah, no, A.
Hey.
Yeah, Daniel, how you feel? Pen as well?
I think that's our pen, dog.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
think I think it's a clear pen. I don't even understand how
Yeah.
they missed that. You know,
It's,
um, I think McAllister was probably trying to buy the not buy the other, but he saw the contact coming and then fully committed. Because to be fair, I don't think if he had committed, he could have probably got a better chance.
Still had to be a foul, bro. That still had to be
Yeah,
a
yeah.
foul.
but this one, I honestly think that the referee bottled it because of the magnitude of the game. I didn't want to feel like if he give 2 pens to one team boy, and completely botched it. But there was some contentious stuff that happened in the game. I think in the first half, City probably felt like the better ones, not just because that they had the lead, but they seemed to be more on top. In the first half alone, Darwin Nunes got called offside 5 times. That's kind of ridiculous. But in the second half, Liverpool were they were fully on mashing the gas, bro, and especially when like we discussed like world class players. That term, I feel like we use that term more this season than any other season before. At least like discussing what it means. Like, when a player step on a field and there's a certain gravitas to him. You see when that Egyptian fella walked onto the field, it felt like if when Hulk had show up for the Avengers in Avengers 1, when he just come out of nowhere, right, to save the day. I literally like 2 minutes to be on the field. Play Lewis, yeah, sure, with a wonderful ball. And yeah, I think Liverpool do feel pretty good coming out of this game as well. Question to ask then. Both teams this season have played a significant amount of games against the Big Six. All Manchester City wins have come against Manchester United. Liverpool have one win against the Big Six. Is against Chelsea. Is there any cause for concern? They really have much games left, obviously, with these things. Liverpool have to play United. They have to play Tottenham as well. And Man City have to play Arsenal and they have to play Tottenham. Do we see this as a concern? Is there a reason for this? Or is it just luck of these games? Cause this was like, 8 games we're talking about across a 38-game season. Well, 10 games in total, but 8 so far. Do we have any concern or nah?
I, I think it's a very interesting question, because I listened to the question and I'm not sure if there's an actual reason for why something like that would happen, or if it's just sheer coincidence. Um, I might honestly have to look into that and try and get an answer and maybe come back next time because I honestly not sure. Off the top of my head, it just seems like a coincidence because it's not even to say like these other teams in quote unquote Big Six have been super impressive. I expect City and Liverpool to beat Spurs,
Mm-hmm.
but then City versus Arsenal. I mean that one could go either way. That's that game is about as important for the league or for the table as the game today was. So
Mm-hmm.
that game could honestly go either way. Um, One thing I wanted to mention though that I thought was interesting is that I felt like City were the ones that got the better result today,
Mm.
and the only reason for that is because it is incredibly difficult coming out of Anfield with anything,
Mm-hmm.
and they somehow managed to do that. Also, Diaz like rare throwaway in that second half. So
You can have a
me
hat trick second half
personally,
alone,
if
dog.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so if I was City, I would have really been feeling like, all right, we make it out alive. We have a point.
No, and I mean,
After
past
the
to
next
that
one.
to that point is like this is where the KDB sub came in. Pep explained it afterwards. Is that like he did not see out like they were so good. Liverpool was so on in the second half that he said in
Mm,
his post game like he had to change the mentality of the team from okay we're going on to win this to we need to get back the ball. We need
mhm.
to stop them from going at us, which is why he brought the Kovacic, which is somebody he would
Yeah.
have been a little bit more reserved on the ball and stuff like that.
I mean,
But
KDB was kind of trash today too. Like, I would have told him. He was trash.
but
The
the
same.
thing is too though is that why I think that Liverpool may feel a bit better is that I not that Pepper's only won here once and it was a COVID game or whatever, right? So it's not like I say this is somewhere that he has in the past put his foot on the throat to really get ahead. But I would say that in the past that those were instances where City were leading the pack by that time you know?
Mhm.
And it was like he's like getting a draw to keep Liverpool back. Whereas this is the opposite, where Liverpool are ahead. And I think
Yeah.
that this, not that it is impossible, but is a place that he probably would have felt he may have needed to get more points out of because, outside of, the Arsenal game in February, Liverpool have been on a tear in this league.
Mhm.
And we would tell ourselves of all the problems that Liverpool have. Hey, I am in this title race as well. I tell myself the problems that Liverpool have, and each week they go on to win. And so the best way to probably take off points from your rivals is when you play them sometimes. And I feel like maybe Pep may have felt like not that he may have felt anyway, but it was a missed opportunity then. Because as the table stands now, um, Liverpool are still above them,
Yep.
as well as Liverpool don't have to face between Arsenal and City, they have to play each other. Somebody's going to drop points there as well. And so with the fixtures that remain as well, I think Liverpool may have come out of this feeling a little bit better. That is where I stand on
That makes sense. That makes sense to me as well. I'm willing to go with that because yeah, it does make a lot of sense. But I mean, coming from Pep's point of view though, trying to win that game today in the last 20 minutes might have been kind of naive.
it.
I
Yeah.
think a younger version of him would have tried to do that, and the game maybe might even finish 3-1. Because Liverpool is not a team that you really want to open up on, because them
Mhm.
men are too good on the counter. Speaking of, anybody thought like taking off Darwin was a
I
weird
think
one?
that,
'Cause I thought he was
bro,
having a pretty good game.
Yuan has tried to convince me that it is a fitness issue. And hey, maybe it is. It's only recent he has come back from injury, right? This is his first start back from injury, I believe, as well.
Hmm.
But, bro, like, I think, like, City have been so much more susceptible defensively this season.
Yeah.
That maybe last year was an anomaly because it's not something that is so unprofound to Man City to be a little bit more sus defensively. But it felt like if they were there caught in headlights a bit, you know, and
Hmm.
you took off the one who was genuinely probably the most scary entity to deal with
Yeah.
because you
Yeah.
just you doesn't
You
he
don't
is
know.
like we
You
make
don't
this
know.
joke about chaos ball, right? But bro, he is such a live wire that you can't contain him, you
Oh, you
know,
don't know what's going to
and
happen.
he took him off and left on Luis Diaz, who I think actually ended the game very strongly but just wasn't getting the end product. Brandon, you want to weigh in this at all?
Yeah, I thought it was a very strange decision as well. Um, I thought Darwin was having a real good game, and if I'm being honest, I mean, I wanted Diaz to come off, but I think in the when I look at the game as a whole, I think Diaz had a very good game minus the finishing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So,
boy.
but I mean, that's the other thing I was gonna say about this is like, and I know all Liverpool fans are doing this, and I totally understand. And they saying, Diaz played very well, the finishing, whatever, whatever. We didn't lose the game, whatever. However, this is a game where 3 games down the line, we could probably be like, oh, Diaz probably should have scored those goals. This that
Yeah.
probably would have changed a lot going forward. So, I mean,
Hmm.
right now, I don't think like it might be much of an issue, but I honestly thought at the time he should have come off and they should have kept Darwin on because I thought Darwin was having a very good game. I don't think the City defense was able to deal with him the way that they should have. And when Salah came on, I thought like Darwin and Salah would have had a real good
Mm-hmm.
thing going
Totally
on
agree.
between
Yeah.
both of them. So I don't know, boy. I found it was kind of strange, but it they didn't lose the game,
Mhm.
and I guess that's all we have to say about it right now.
A few
I've,
fringe players. Yeah, sorry, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna say I have like one more question
Yeah, yeah,
for
yeah.
you,
Oh,
and
yeah, yeah.
I mean, why not, right? Yeah. Who's the other man in match?
For me, it was
Oh,
McAllister.
I had
Oh,
Endo.
Endo.
Endo
Oh,
was my man
Endo.
of the match.
Yeah, he was great, boy. He's been great. And like we're gonna have end of the season awards, and we're gonna talk about signing of the season. Bro, this one has been
Hmm.
16 million and
It could
has
be
been
him. Yeah.
and he's been insanely good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go
Could
as
be
far
him.
to say like he has been one of the he's been the best like six in the league or anything like that. But when we talk about it, like we talked about this Liverpool team missing the anchor. And like when
Hmm.
they missed out on Caicedo, like that was a big issue with me and how I was thinking about this season going. And he's come in completely under the radar. And yeah, it took him a little while to get his footing in this league, but I can't say the last bad performance he's
Hmm.
had. It's been
Not for
months,
sure.
and I think that's such a credit to Klopp and to Liverpool. What was your answer, Pat?
I had Van Dijk. I thought
He was
apart
great
Oh,
from
yeah,
though.
he was great too, though. He was really great
yeah,
too. Yeah.
apart from that one lapse in concentration where I think Haaland sneak back in and catch him sleeping. But
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah,
apart from that, like though he defended Haaland on a 1v1 and
yeah,
Haaland ended up on the ground. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay. And if I see dog, I got to see a angle of it like Haaland down the middle like this, Van Dijk behind him, and the things that was going on with Van Dijk, I don't know how he even kept like his footing. Because Haaland was literally cutting on both sides, and Van Dijk was twisting and turning. I was like, how he didn't even fall down. I didn't even know how
yeah,
he didn't fall down. But not just that, flicking push him so that the shot just didn't. I mean, I thought that was kind of inexperience from Haaland too. I don't know if Haaland
me
get
too. Yeah,
like shaky going up against Van Dijk or something, but he could have taken it all the way, Like he didn't have to shoot from there. He could have taken it all the way, probably blow past Virgil, because at some point the man had to put in a tackle, and we see he could not put in a tackle. He had to put in a body instead now. Way. He could have probably
yeah.
blow past Virgil and score there, or at least get a shot on goal. But however,
I mean,
I thought it was Van Dijk. I think Endo had a really good game too, though, and McAllister scored, so that's also something.
yeah,
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 I thought I say I think for like City too, boy. I feel like I can't tell you, and I just kind of this might be strange. I can't tell you like a proper performance from a City player that I saw today.
yeah.
Um, I can't. I think the
Bro,
only
honestly,
person.
Rodri was very lucky not to get a second yellow in that first half, dog.
Yeah, I
Oh
think the
yeah,
only
boy.
person I thought that was relative is he was Stones, and I know he
Yeah,
scored, but otherwise I thought he was really
yeah,
good.
correct. Yeah,
Um,
agreed.
and I can't tell you like another City player that I thought was very good. I thought this was part of. I thought Bernardo had like a real rough game today,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so I think
No,
that kind of says a lot.
you know, what's the thing by Brandon? This could be famous last week, and it is what it is. But I think that we have been waiting for City to put down a performance this season for them for it to feel like is City, like that stamp authority, and we just have not gotten it. And I think
Hmm.
that's a reflection of the lack of big game performances from the, or results from them at least, or but performance wise as well. And again, it could be famous last week we played them in 2 weeks. It could be that us is the head that did dismantle, and it is what it is, and I'll have to live with that. But like even on the Haaland thing, we talking about the fact that they have not won these big games. I mean, anybody who wanted to actually go through the chances, not today, but Haaland has been getting these big games. I wouldn't be surprised if he's overthinking it a little bit right now because it's a few big games running where he has been missing a few moments to be a bit more decisive for them as they try to get back on top of the table.
Hmm.
Um, the penalty on Darwin Nunes, anybody had any problem with that? Not at all with me.
The
Um,
most I don't even know why VAR checked that. Like I'm not even
Yeah, it's
sure why they
pretty
review that
straightforward.
for.
Pretty
I mean,
straightforward.
it's not real. That Anderson come out. Dog, and the second he come on, dog, I know that was coming in. In fact, I remember last week, guys, when they played United and it was Garnacho, I was shocked he got the ball then. Because I was so sure he was gonna come out and clear Garnacho then.
Hmm.
Um more
Look, if they gave
contentious
him a red card, I would not even be surprised, to be honest.
um I was gonna say squad players that played one of Liverpool's biggest games of the season today. Jarrell Kwanzaa. I thought he was pretty
Bradley
good.
was real good.
Bradley was also really good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and when you talk about the kind of place Liverpool, that Klopp is leaving Liverpool when he's leaving. Um, and something else I was gonna ask about. Um, all three of the title race teams this weekend had to play their backup keepers. So that was a kind of interesting stat. Um, and yeah, Edison came off injured. I thought Kelleher was good. I think he's been good. I mean, I know you guys know
Yeah.
I'm a fan of him. He had made some really nice saves in the second half. One on Foden, where I mean, I don't get vexed with attackers for this per se, but in that same shot that Foden had, Haaland was waiting on the other side of the box. But I mean, bro, Foden in the form that he's in, I really not
Yeah.
gonna fault the man for shooting now. You know? On the other end, Ortega did end up making some pretty decent saves and interceptions as well. KDB coming off though. Do we feel anyhow about that? In a pretty big game.
I
He
mean,
just
I
he
felt
just
like it
wanted to
was
talk, bro.
deserved.
He just wanted to talk.
He just wanted to
Yeah,
talk,
yeah,
right?
yeah. He needed to get out. And I'm glad he did. I'm glad he got to get off his chest. I saw him talking with Pep like when he got subbed. Then
Yeah.
like 10 minutes after that, I don't even
And
know
the
why
food
Pep
was
cared that
very
much,
good.
dog. Like Pep is the boss, dog. If he say come off,
Yeah.
just get off. That's it. And yeah, that's it. But I'm just glad that Pep had the balls to sub him because he wasn't having a great game.
Yeah,
But to the same extent, though, nobody was on
From
City. But
yeah,
um,
yeah.
but yeah, he wasn't having a great game, and he's coming off a hamstring. Pep probably want the players to run a little bit more, so let's take him off and get somebody else on that could probably run. And
Mhm.
that's it, dog. You can't coach for that.
Yeah. Um Toku came on as well.
He is. I realize he is the anti-end product, by the way. Like I hope when the season finish, we could talk about this man in an honest conversation. Cause the start of the season we was rating him dog because he get 4 assists or something weird like that. But apart from that, ever since them 4 assists, I haven't
yeah.
seen no end
Like
product from this guy.
nope.
Does he even shoot
yeah.
on target? Is my question. Does he even shoot the ball on target? I don't
Dog,
even think so.
actually, bro, you know what was already most so he hit the post and that
No, no,
just
no. Hitting
reminded
the
me.
post is off target. Hitting
No,
the
no,
post
no,
is
no, no,
off
no,
target.
no, no, no. I know. What I was going to say is all I remember. I don't know if it was Doku. Somebody crossed it in, dog, and Kelleher come out to punch it, and punch it straight into Foden
Oh, it's
arm,
Foden. It's Foden. Yeah.
Yeah.
and it hit the post. I was like, bro, no way.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but the game was entertainment
Yeah.
value. But okay, so looking forward, guys. Well, the international break coming up just now, and as per the rule of my seasons year in year out, we are going to
Mhm.
do a season prediction of every fixture, so that I can map out my pain and torture as it's about to incur. And but I'm still going to ask you all, where's your favor right now, or what percentages between the three as to win this league?
All right, wait. These are off the cuff questions. I don't want to give an off the cuff answer. Give me a
No, no, no. I
second.
do actually want off the cuff answer. I want to know where all the
I
heart is.
I will give you 40 for City, 35 for Liverpool, and 25 for
Is that
Arsenal.
mathematically correct? Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds correct. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All
Cool.
right. Um, I dog. I honestly just feel like Liverpool don't have it, you know. So yeah, I go in 20 for Liverpool, 20% for Liverpool, and then between Arsenal and City, 45, 35. 45 for City, 35 for Arsenal,
He stick
20
there for you.
for
Yeah, I think he said 45. I think the next one's 35.
yeah,
Yeah.
45,
35,
35,
35, 20. Okay.
20
Yeah. I
in
can live with that.
favor of City. And that
You
comes down
know.
to the game between City and Arsenal is played in
Yeah.
the Etihad. And I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
that is a and that plus as long as KDB is fit, the game starts 1-0. Sorry to tell you that, John, but he like to dunk on earlier somehow. I don't know how. I don't know how he do that, but he just do it somehow. So yeah, boy. Yeah.
The man play
If he get
against
injured over the
the
break, then cool.
that is before you come up against Declan Rice, bro. But
I
I
mean, true,
mean,
eh?
I'm not going
But
to
he will
pretend
just go
like
to
if
one side and
now he played the community shield, right? And we still come out on top of the game in the end. So that is my copium right now. I'm not gonna
well, wait,
pretend
say
like
no more.
I'm not gonna pretend like I'm overly confident what I am. But where I am about it is that like I think like if City had win, or actually I think if any team had win today, I would have
Mhm.
feel like we had more of our owners to try and go there to win. And whereas now I think if we go there and we come out with a draw, it's it's still good because it's still in our hands and stuff. But yeah, my percentages is that
You know?
you're good.
No, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. I'll say after.
Um, mine is actually 35 for Liverpool, 35 for City, and 30 for us. The reason being is that I think the fixtures are very much in Liverpool favour. And even if Liverpool end up screwing off the Europa League, I don't think they will, because I really think Klopp wants to leave with the one trophy he has not won yet at Liverpool. But um, yeah, I think the fixtures are very much in Liverpool's favour, as well as like sometimes fortune is just yours. Like I mean, we'll talk about Arsenal a little bit, right, and how we left it later when this weekend. Sorry, Liverpool do that last week. Been doing it, and they go in and they've been doing it with their under 23s and Van Dijk mostly, right? I mean, as their players come back and they're gonna end the season pretty strong. I think that is in their favor, and then the rest is basically what we have been doing for City for this whole season is trusted in their history that they would finish the season strong. However, it should be noted that with the exception of the 18-19 season, where Pep had admittedly put down the historic run he has ever done, every other season Pep Guardiola at Manchester City has dropped at least 5 points in the last 10 games. So including last year. Just we weren't good enough to take advantage. But so we'll see how that goes. Um, I was supposed to play a voice note by Virgil. So, Ollie, give me 1 second.
Mhm.
Yeah, but honestly, I felt like this game went down the expected route, which was the draw. Both teams playing for the draw. But
Oh, jeez. My bad. My bad.
We could have had good though.
Oh, okay.
but as much as I felt that City were the ones that were more content with the draw, there were flashes from the game where players were trying their best to go and get that late winner, trying to snatch it because had chances from both ends. Like for City, notably when Doku hit the post. But what I will say is it didn't disappoint. It disappointing from a City's fan. Obviously, I invested in that differently because this is the last of the club era in Anfield. I felt like I really wanted this, and I felt like this would be the best time. Because trust me, I don't care about the shape of Liverpool and the injuries and everything. It was a side that was inexperienced in the defense, and honestly, you had to give hats off to Liverpool for that. Liverpool, if we honestly could have done a lot more on paper, but I felt like this Liverpool side came out and with the whole cool, what good with Klopp and with being at Anfield, those Liverpool players were in a next level. So that's why the draw felt a little more impressive this time around. So honestly, for all that, it really was very disappointing for a City's fans' point of view. But from a neutral point of view, yeah, the game had everything. The game.
Yeah. I do agree with him in terms of Liverpool on paper may have seemed weaker, but I was actually gonna ask a set, but then I watched City's bench and I realized was the alternatives right now. But like, I don't find that recently again. You see, I am very thing about criticizing City right before we play them. Every single time they can Harry, I gonna say something about going and score next time. But I don't find recently Alvarez has not been playing great. and he kind of felt, especially since KD become a kind of shoehorned into the 11.
Well, he's not playing great, but he's
But
not
the
getting to play in his
alternatives,
position. I mean,
yeah, fair.
they play him on the wing today before he
Yeah,
was playing back in the midfield. I thought he was excellent when he was playing centre forward,
yeah.
and somehow that's his position. So
No, 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 it is, right?
yeah,
And like I said, it is shoehorn, But then I watch the alternatives, right? Like, again, who's all nice to watch on the eyes, bro. But as we point out, these games, the end product matters, and he hasn't had it. I actually don't really want to talk about Arsenal that long. Other than, obviously they go on top this weekend, but that don't matter much until we play City. Like, but the more important thing for me is really to talk about the Porto game that's gonna come up. But I just wanted to say this one thing, and I hopefully that when all of disagree with me, that all it can be kind of nice about it, is that like I think like not not Havertz or nothing. But there are a few players, currently at Arsenal, like, we talk about this world class and whatever, and I really don't really care about what category we put them in right now. But in terms of the kind of praise and reputation that they are allowed to accrue, it has been limited by the club that they play for, and the heritage has unfortunately become attached to Arsenal. Like, when we did the world class episode, I mentioned three players that I think will perform at similar levels that we have mentioned for others, and Saliba, um, Rice, and Saka. And I feel like we are talking about players, the three of them, I think Odegaard as well, and Gabriel, that, they could go into nearly any 11 in the world right now, and they would not be a miss. Top 11s, right? And I really do get the need that they need to win something, and for to be put in the biggest conversation sometimes, right? But I think that again that they are limited by the club that they are playing for, because I think that they play for almost anybody else, it wouldn't have been that case. Um, just examples as Jude Bellingham hasn't won anything in his career yet. Well, sorry, he win the Spanish Super Cup, I believe it was, um, a few weeks ago with Real Madrid, but until then, and that wasn't even while he was having the massive run of form, or Kanate hasn't won any league or UCL, or squad players at City that only now becoming more important and stuff like that. And I think like because of the teams that these other players would play for, Musiala even, that we would be more willing to put them up in certain conversations compared to the fact that these players are being held down by failures of teams and players that came before them, and y'all can tell me I'm wrong. And again, I fully do agree that they need to win something to, because it has to be for something, right? They need to do all this to validate it with something, with some form of silverware. But I also do sit in the camp of like, you don't just become winners tomorrow from being mid today. They had to be performing at a level until that moment. They had to be performing a certain way to be in the conversation. And I think that there are other players that has benefited from playing for other clubs and to get the recognition they deserve along the way. And yeah, um, if you all have nothing to say to that, I completely understand. Uh,
I just want to make sure I understand the question. Is there a question or is it just like
nah, it was
the
just
world
more.
class thing?
It's not even necessarily like if they are world class, but I find like, and this is not something against you all. It's more like a general thing where the amount of praise or recognition then that some of these players are allowed to get is capped by the fact that they play for a club that has underperformed for a very long time, you know? And now they are put under that extra pressure to do something that players before that have done it on the World Cup stage and stuff like that have not been even able to do. And so now they have to do it. And I think it's a bit unfair to cap them in how we're willing to rate them based on the club, because not everything that they could be in control of, obviously there are things that they are, and hopefully this year that they could put all those things right. But is yeah, is that is more the statement, is that I think that they have been capped by what Arsenal has become, the image of what Arsenal has become, and that there are players who play for other clubs that have been getting the right amount of recognition, you know, whether it
Um,
be, Yamal or Pedri breaking out at Barca, or Musiala at Bayern, or Jude doing it at Real, or look how we talk about Darwin now and Konate now, and that kind of thing. And it's because they are playing it, and I think part of it is because they are playing in teams that we trust to go on to actually win stuff, you know.
I mean, Brandon, do you have anything to say for this? I felt like I cut you off there.
No, it's just like I just want everybody to understand that the reason we've been talking about world class players so much this season is because Arsenal are the ones that bring up this topic because they don't have world class players and they need to make people feel like they have world class players. And there's nothing wrong with not being a world class player. Like not everybody can be or is a world class player at every point in their career. But
Hmm.
it's just that's just the way it is. And John, I think you're being like you're taking a very positive stance on the way people view the club because if you look at what happened last season, I don't think that's any different from the things that have happened to Arsenal or the way that we view Arsenal over the past few years. So I mean, I don't think it's unjustified or anything like that. I don't think it's like being harsh on the present players based on the past players because it's what has continued to happen. And I don't even think like there are players that at Arsenal that care if they're world class or not. I personally don't think like they care. I don't think like that matters to them. What matters to them is that they want to win.
Hmm.
And when they get to that stage, then the other thing is too why like there's also this other part of being world class where it's very like we don't need to debate it at some points. Like if it questionable, then it's probably not worth the discussion.
Hmm.
So I don't know, boy. I feel like you're being a little disingenuous about like saying that the past has determined how people view you all now when
No,
it
but Brand,
it,
you
it
say it
happens it
last
happens
year.
all the time. It happens all the time.
No, but you're saying it happens all the time, right? Where like you said last season, but like, at the start of last season, when we did our predictions, like only myself and Yuan had us finishing in the top four. Right? Everybody else had us outside. That we went on to do something that was beyond. We was exceeding expectations. And when we fell below that, it was use our run to beat us. Like if we were expected to be in this title race, and yeah, they couldn't do it in the end. The squad wasn't capable to run the gauntlet that City are able to do, that Liverpool has proven to at least push City to do over the years and stuff like that. And so I don't think that is the same as title failures of the past, where like Arsenal actually did have world class players and did not go the way. Whether it's '09 or the years that Arsenal actually had like Alexis and Ozil and stuff like that. And yeah, I don't think it is the same as those. Um, but yeah.
Yeah, right. Add to that, Daniel.
Um, I think I first of all fully misunderstood the question. I thought this was gonna be a whole thing about like um the debate of where like how much this trophy matters in classifying someone as a world class player or not. That's why I thought John was going with it. Now I kind of see where you're going with it. And no, Doug, I don't think. First of all, I don't even think Arsenal underrated anymore. If, for lack of a better term, if that's what you're trying to say, that Arsenal are an underrated team, I don't even think so anymore. There are there are probably only two other teams in this league that when Arsenal go up against them, the people who just place bets, no, put it like that. Not sure who to bet on. But every other team apart from Liverpool and City, Arsenal plays them, and people are betting on Arsenal. You're not going to bet on United or Spurs or whatever. You expect Arsenal to beat them now. That's where they have reached, right? So how could they even be an underrated team if we expect them to be at least in the top three of this whole league. Like that is what is expected of them now. I think that you as a fan might be holding on to how you used to feel from a year ago, 2 years ago, and so on and so forth. This for you is probably the first season that I went into ultra confident. Because even last season, even though you finished second and that was respectable, you wouldn't have entered the season confident. And then that goes for like let's just cycle back the last multiple years. 8, 9, how much ever you want to take it back. But where Arsenal are at now as a football club, I can't call them underrated. And then how does world class talent tie into that? I think you'll have a lot of players that are on the brink of it, but also kind of what Brandon says, doesn't matter as much. What matters right now is winning things. And y'all are definitely competitive. I had to say that. And as a man used to shit on Arsenal, plenty. And I have to say that y'all are definitely competitive. Whether you're going to win in the end, that's up to fate. But y'all are competing, and that is a testament to where y'all have reached. Now, y'all are competing in the Champions League, y'all competing in the Europa League last season, and y'all competing in the Premier right now. And FA Cup, no one really cares. So let's forget about that one. But yeah, y'all are a highly competitive team, and that's it. That's all that matters right now. That's it. Just move on to that. Will Rice become a world class player? Most likely. Saliba, yes. Saka, yes. Whoever else you want to throw into Odegaard, yes. They are all very, very good players. And who cares if Brandon think they're not world class and John think they are, and I think maybe for some and maybe not for others. Like, who cares? It's fine.
I
You all
think the
are
thing that
competing. That's
does,
what matters.
and I remember Patrick telling me this should not bother me that much, yeah, but it does. And what does come on the mouth of people that have been unfortunately given bigger platforms than us? Because I think that they
Okay.
have a responsibility. I think that they do because they shape perceptions, and they shape the understanding. Because you know Brandon is joke all the time about a group chat that he's in, and I do it for another group chat of sometimes the kind of responses we get, and I think that those responses are the way that some people like. I don't mean people that see football different. Like the three of us, I know the three of us see football different, but the kind of conversations that we can have is different to some that other people are capable of having, and that sounds maybe a little bit egotistical, but I don't think that is not what I'm trying to come across as. But those are the players, their perceptions are shaped by these people in the media. And I think that they be disingenuous, as to how not just us, but a few things and how they view football, And I mean, not be the only bush about it, but people like Carragher and Neville and what's the next idiot name? Rio Ferdinand and stuff like that, you know. Um Honestly, he's so lucky he could have played football and he probably wouldn't have make it anywhere else in life. But so
I
yeah,
mean, boxer, dog. You might have been a boxer.
yeah. And he want to box something, so
I think he does
um
box. I think he really does box.
but
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, boy.
Go ahead.
I look, I agree that it doesn't matter. It does not matter. But I do think that they have a responsibility to be as balanced as possible. And I feel like we start to watch football not by listening to people like us. We don't. We watch games
True.
and we listen to commentary. We listen to pre-game. We listen to post-game. Those people shape at least our initial understanding of the game. And instead, I can understand if all you don't want to agree with me to at least this extent. Um, we are being forced to shape by players who have prior prejudices and biases based on their playing days and how they feel about certain clubs and certain teams and stuff. And they put their opinions through that hole, that shape, that cutout. And that is how we receive it now. And
But
so
John, let me ask you something, right? Would you not agree though that teams themselves also hold that responsibility in the sense that if they perform well, the balance narrative, the narrative balances out eventually. Like you can't like for example, you can't be not winning all the time and expect balance. Like if you win and you don't win, there can be balance because you're doing both. But Arsenal hasn't done that yet, and I feel like I understand what you're saying, and I agree about what people say and how people change the narratives of players and teams and everything. But what has Arsenal done in the past 2 years for people to think otherwise is nothing.
No, well,
So I mean,
so
I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, there's no real reason to change the
no, well,
perception because the
you,
perception there's nothing to show for it.
you see, like what I see this is like what we did last year was going above what people expected of us and what we're capable of. This what we're doing now, I think, is of expectation. And so I think last year, instead of what the narrative could be of that the youngest team in the league with the youngest manager of the league that has been going beyond expectations and at least pushing what ended up being a trouble within team could have been highlighted and more positive than it was allowed to be. Whereas now, like any failure now, I think it's fair to be criticized because now that they are at the table, they are now being expected to be at the table. And any drop off of that is to be criticized. And I agree with that, you know? And yeah, we
I
don't,
don't know if this helps. I don't know if this helps your outlook, but I see where you're coming from a fan's perspective, and that's completely fine, right? You
because you
should
know,
have
should I
that
say my
perspective.
thoughts why is that like dog watch what Spurs where Spurs are this season, right? And the kind of encouragement that the media would give Spurs, and
Yeah.
it's completely different. You know now,
I
bear by
disagree with that, dog. I don't think that's the case at all.
I think you all got
I don't
encouragement,
think that's the
but
case at
I
all.
think the whole see, because you get the luxury of stepping back, as we probably all should, stepping back and looking at the season as a whole, right? The 2022-23 season as a whole, and saying that you all finished second, no one expected you all to even finish fifth, you all overshot your expectations, give them a flowers. That's fine. I think that the second place finish, let me say, the achievement of finishing second was overshadowed by quote unquote, as people would say, bottling first place.
right.
Because the first place bottle was, again, quote unquote, I wouldn't go as far as to say bottle, but you all were on top for multiple days, over 200 actually.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
could not, yeah, dog, it is literally your trip at the finish line. That's literally what happened. Your trip at the finish line and finish second. That's it, right?
yeah.
Um, I think that kind of overshadows the overarching narrative that you're trying to push. And I think the narrative you're trying to push is fine because, yes, the season as a whole, finishing second is an achievement. I think most people actually just decided to hold on to y'all didn't finish first. And that's two different things. Even though it seems the same, it's two
Yeah,
completely
I
different things.
agree. And my thing is like the people hold on to first, first, second. Like, I expect that from like fans or rival clubs and things. You know,
Mhm.
that is fair game to me though, because that is just part of it though. Like part of the banter and the rabs and whatever. But then now people who are paid to be analysts and to be neutral in the media that don't do that,
Mhm.
that does bother me. Right? And now
It
let me tell you,
depends
let
what
me tell you why
analyst you're
else
talking
it
about,
is.
though.
Why it is also bother me too though is somewhat a place of envy as well. I would say that though, because I don't think that they all of the people who get to sit down and analyze games and review games deserve it based on their ability to do so. Now they may
Okay.
deserve it based on their playing career, and where your weight may vary on that is valid and fine. But yeah, I didn't mean for this actually to be so long. It was more for us to
No,
really.
but it's not a bad conversation, because what I would even say to that is that people will hands down prefer to listen to Rio and Carragher talk not so great sense about a game than they would care to listen to, let's say, Daniel Patrick. People don't want to hear me talk about no game, even though, let's just say I could, right? Let's just say I could analyze it better than them. People still don't want to hear that. They want to hear Rio and they want to hear Carragher because them is the household names. Them is people that you've grown up
No, but
watching them
wait,
play
Pats.
and watching them achieve and win. Now you want more of them.
No, but Pats, the reason
And
I
it's a
actually
business at the
disagree.
end of the day too.
No,
Sorry,
but
sorry.
Pats, I actually disagree with that to some extent, in the sense that like I think that because I was listening to somebody in the UK talk about this that he feels like those specific panels of people they actually pushed on you, and it's pushed on you based on like how TV rights are now done and stuff like that, that you kind of don't have a choice but to listen to these guys, you know? Like, all right, all of us watch Man City versus Liverpool today, right? I'm
Mhm.
sure nearly all of us listen to our commentary with Neville and Carragher on it, or Peter Drury and Neville. I trying to remember exactly who it is.
Yeah, mine
Like,
was Drury.
right? And so, whether it is legal or not, however you watch the game tends to be these people all the time, you know. And so we
Mhm.
we don't have a choice but to have these guys shape our opinions. Now I'm not saying that they are now. So Joey Boyer, he and Rio, they do a pod, right? I'm not saying that people don't willingly go and listen to that. They do, but
Mhm.
I don't think. But there's people who do that out of choice. We watch games. We don't have a choice in who we listen to on commentary and stuff like that.
See, okay, yes. What why I try and come at it is that if Sky Sports are trying to hire pundits, at the end of the day, the name of the game is how much views can they get to push their business.
Yeah.
And they probably just think that they have a better chance with that. If they was hiring someone fresh, let's say they hired Cristiano Ronaldo. How much people do you think will come
Yeah.
watch Christy than watch me and you talk? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Christie's resume is already there. It's
Yeah.
him. You know,
Yeah.
his face is his resume. And ours would never get that long. If you see what I'm
Yeah.
saying. And let me not even say that. Right? I'm not gonna put you in this. Mine would never get that long.
No, no,
So
no, no. I completely
yeah.
understand it, because like, if you had to ask me to choose between like Ozil and all, like it's chalk and
Yeah,
cheese, right? This is what it is.
correct.
I wanted to talk about the Arsenal. Well, I don't know if I'll even really care to say anything about this weekend. Like the Arsenal game, Ramsdale, it was nice. Arrivederci.
Boy.
Um,
Yeah, boy.
You finally come to peace for that, boy?
I was not gonna
no,
say
no,
it
no.
though.
You know
You
the
finally
funny
come to
thing.
peace for
You know the
that?
funny thing. Until he do that, I tell Jordan, he having a good game, you know. Like he throw the ball good a few times, but then like dog, he can't
He
play it
threw
short.
out the ball good a few times.
No, no, like we had some counters that he start from, like he pelted it halfway down the field and thing, but um, but he can't play it short or whatever. And like I'm not gonna sit down here and pretend like, you know, I'm fully behind Raya. I low key feel like I may never be fully behind this man, just because I seriously have an issue with keepers who's under 6'2". Like I don't trust it, dog. It's hard for me to trust that, dog. I feel like you know why?
Hmm.
Cause blasted scarred by years of Ospina, dog, and I ain't able to go through that again. Um, every time, actually, it's made difference between Ospina and Raya. At least when Raya go for crosses, he don't fall long and feign injury every time. Every single time Ospina
Okay.
go for a cross, he used to fall on now. But yeah, there's that. Well, Kai scored the winner, and Ben White get 2 assists again today. And I don't think ever since, like, in the Arsenal current form, obviously 8 wins in a row. I don't think it has been spoken enough about, and that's my fault as well, about how good White has been again. Um, he has been back to a very, very high level, and yeah, everybody else I thought was pretty good. Yeah, Porto though. Um,
Ooh.
so But so here's the thing, right? I expect us to perform and I expect us to win. If we do it, there's a whole other question. And if it does happen, if they don't do it, then I know everything I need to know about where they are right now. And I kind of have my piece of like, well, if I need to find out who they are now, I'll find out who they are now and I'll move from there. But I do think that they will perform. I think, today it was released that interview between French Canal and they did it with Saliba and Gabriel, and it had English subtitles then. And the way these players talk about the season, and not just on how they want to make stories right, and they want to make narratives right, and they want to make sure that Arsenal stay in the conversations for every trophy it has out there. Um, I think they will go out there and perform. So yeah, I think that they will go out there and win. I think they will. I think they took off Jorginho this weekend because they know that they need him for that day. Because oh my goodness, dog! As much as there's other reasons I don't really care to talk about, and dog, in whatever inside the 15 or 25 minutes I watch our party since he come back. I don't think I see that man hit one accurate pass yet. And
No, that's not true, dog. He aimed for the advertising board and he hit it, dog.
Correct.
um
And that takes skill.
yeah, at least Zinchenko actually decent, but I don't think I don't want him starting if especially if Jorginho started. I don't want the two of them starting, and I prefer Jorginho start. So yeah, okay, cool. Gonna ask Solly, how do you feel about that game? I gonna say that we win 3-1.
Jeez. Okay. I was not looking at the squad here to see if anybody was on a yellow card. Rice is on a yellow card. Havertz is on a yellow card, and Curio is on a yellow card. So that
Yeah,
just means that if they get a yellow card in this game, they'll be suspended for the first leg of the next round.
yeah.
So that was the only thing I was really looking at. I fully expect, is Martinelli going to be fit, or
It
is he
is
back out?
expected that he. Well, I saw somebody who has somewhat developed a reputation of being a semi-dependent. I think he say that he might be out.
Lord have mercy, you should just stop there and say no.
I say no
Yeah.
though. I think he will
Okay.
be. I think I. Though my gut feeling is he gonna be okay and he'll play, but I won't know till then. So
It's
Okay.
a
yeah,
very
but
important
that's a
game.
big miss though. But that's a big miss though. Like I think he's so important. But we'll see how it goes. Come closer to them.
Well, yeah. I mean, I mean, it's if y'all don't get through this tie, I feel like the the knock-on effects of
It's
this will be
huge.
too great,
Yeah,
and I don't. And listen, right? We just talked about how the media has been talking about Arsenal. If they don't win this tie, it's just gonna get worse, John. And I
yeah.
feel real sorry for you. So if whatever for all that is good and for all that Arsenal care about, they
However,
definitely need to win this game.
you know your dog is a positive person, dog. So you know how if we win, how it would be. Dog, break City after that, dog. Break City after that. In fact, nobody don't wait till the March 31st, guys. Let them come play with the day after. That is no problem. Break them one time. So yeah, I
Hmm.
need a score from you, though, Brandon.
I'm going to go with. I'm gonna go with 2-1. I think Ole might win it like at the end.
I said two
And
one aggregate then.
no, I think the game will be 2-1, but I think y'all will win it at the. Oh wait, no, the can't win 2-1. Yeah, for away goals is nothing.
Penalty, maybe.
Mm, no, you know what? I'll go with the aggregate score as 2-1
Yeah.
because I don't think it'll be very close. I think y'all will win it at the end. So yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So I think so. 2-0.
Brandon, I mean
All right.
Brandon. Daniel.
Well, yeah. I was gonna say 2-0, but just for the sake of being different, I will go 1-0, and then you'll win it on penalties. The
So
reason I was
it's
thinking,
it's
You want to
it's how
kill
on the
me?
last on the prediction pod. You know, on the prediction pod, Daniel said we could check him back when Arsenal lose 1-0. And that's exactly what we
Yeah.
had to do.
Yeah.
Doug, no, but Doug, I think the thing about this game, I just can't see Porto scoring, and the reason for that is because in Portugal, they didn't even look like they was gonna score. So what the hell they gonna look like in England? I don't know. But look, I think it's clear what Porto are going to do. They have the 1-0 up, and they're going to make it very difficult for Arsenal. They're gonna sit deep, and that Diogo Costa fella is pretty good, dog. And their
Yeah.
defense is
I
quite
agree.
organized. I think Martinelli definitely is a big miss,
If
especially
he
when you're
missed,
looking
not
at
good.
potentially trying to break down our low block for about 90 minutes straight. You know,
Yeah.
I don't think Porto gonna try to counter earlier. I think it's just gonna be let's defend and
Yeah.
try our best. And hey, they are the men to do it too, dog. Like Pepe is a veteran in this thing. He know how to get the
Yeah.
job done.
I
And the
mean,
keeper is pretty good as well. So
I think
that
what I
being said, I still think y'all will score one. And
yeah.
then I really do think you're going to get that last minute winner as well, which would be to make it 2-0. But
Yeah.
just to be different, I want to go 1-0. But that's how I really feel though.
Cool. Nice. Moving on. So this is such a random question, but I asked Jordan this today, and so I wanted to know what was your view, right, Brandon? So if I asked you to take like Chelsea playing the day after we record, so we have no actual reason to discuss Chelsea other than I want to see Brandon wins. If I had to ask you, Brandon, to take 2015-16 season to now, right,
Was
of everything that has happened with Chelsea from 2015-16 season to now, and trade it for how exactly those exact seasons panned out, with the last for that same time period as Liverpool, would you trade it? Would you trade it?
Hmm. Lord, I don't think so. I don't
Hmm.
think I'd trade it. I think I'd keep it the way it is. Yeah, I wouldn't trade it. It's too difficult because in that period of time, we won a Champions League, we won a Europa League, we won.
The league.
I believe we won a FA Cup. I believe we won a League Cup.
You won the league. You won the league. Oh my
The
goodness,
league.
what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
The reason I asked though is like the
Yeah, I
obviously the
think
only
so.
thing that Liverpool has not done that you all have done in that time period is the Europa League, right? That's the only real difference. You all have won the same amount of everything else, right? The difference is though is that Liverpool has constantly been in the Champions League, with the exception of this last year. Here they've obviously been the three Champions League finals in that time as well. Again, same outcome as you all, right? But if you would have traded the stability that they had compared to you're probably on course for a third double digit finish in the league this year in that time.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't trade it, bro. I definitely wouldn't trade it. I think the stability thing is kind of overrated. Like, there are a lot of stable clubs that aren't very good. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't trade it, but it have too much things in there. It have too much good. It have too
Good
much
stuff.
big,
Yeah,
big,
yeah, yeah.
big games in there. It have too many good things in there. So I would never trade it.
Yeah, cool, no problem. Um, United won this weekend too. Now, actually, we're gonna just run through these kind of quick because I swear my life, I did not think that Arsenal talk would last so long. Um, they won 2 this weekend by 2 penalties. We obviously did not talk about them last week and how Marcus Rashford decided to score one of the best goals for the season and go on to put on the biggest Hall of Shame performance we could have ever asked from the star boy of Manchester. And so how we feeling about them guys? I need a quick one. We did our over under 18 and
Yeah.
only
19, 19,
19.
19.
And I think Brandon was the only one who was willing to give them 19 on the dot. But that was the
Yeah.
option. That was not the option. So
20 it was.
yeah. How we feeling about it now? 10 games to go. They have 3 points since then. Uh
17 to go, eh, pa? 17 to
17
go, eh?
points to go. Yeah. How we
Out of
feeling about
18
them?
games. Bro, United, they just, I don't know, but you just never know what you're gonna get with United. You don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know who's gonna play. You don't know who's gonna score. It's always a toss up for United. So I mean, until from now until the end of the season, it's just gonna be watching United, trying to see how much moments they could have, how well they could get through every game, and that's about it. I mean, I'm not expecting them anything great from them. I'd
Hmm.
be more surprised if they finish fourth than anything, and I feel like that might put the spotlight on the other two teams above them
Correct.
rather than
Totally agree.
giving United credit.
Patrick?
Oh my gosh, bro! I just decided to pull up their fixtures, and they
Yeah, they're
could
gonna get big dog
so
again.
within the realm of possibility, they could so finish the next how much about 10 games or whatever with about 6 points.
Mm-hmm.
When I
Yeah,
tell you it's difficult, dog, it's flicking, dog. They're easy-ish games, are away games, and then they had to play man like Liverpool. So like their home games are like super difficult. I think Liverpool will come to Old Trafford and kill them.
so here this, eh? The
Arsenal, same
10
thing.
the 10th place team has a game in hand above with them, right? Which is Newcastle. And
Hmm.
let me say for argument's sake, Newcastle get our points over. Newcastle would be four
Oh, that's the
points
game
off
tomorrow.
them.
That's the game tomorrow. They win in that game. Don't worry.
I was trying not to
But
mention
that's
who those
Chelsea.
players,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah. They win in that game tomorrow.
But okay, so
But I feel all the garden.
as of right now, all it is 7 points. Do we see a world where Newcastle could pass United in the table?
No, no way, no way, bro, no way,
When Newcastle could pass
no
United,
way.
Yeah.
it would be comical if it happens. I'll tell you that. I just want to check Newcastle games. 'Cause I think Newcastle games are pretty hard.
I,
Yeah, nah.
really? I don't think Newcastle also had a hard games remaining. I know they play all the top three already.
Uh, they have. I think Chelsea beating them tomorrow just because Newcastle away is
It's the
practically
worst. It's
Sheffield.
dog,
Yeah.
Yeah,
dog.
it's the worst team. Yeah,
Hey, speaking of Sheffield United is the only team in the league to allow more shots on goal than Manchester United, boy. Hey, bro,
You
I know
know,
what's the most mind-boggling thing with this man, boy, that is called Eric Tenfroid, boy, is that, like, I never saw a man who genuinely is that delusional, you know. Like he really lives in a world where it's a bubble and he doesn't hear anybody else. Homeboy said this week, no team could perform with the injuries we have. Vis-a-vis the Liverpool Manchester City game where Klopp could probably put out a whole 11 of injured players that are better than Manchester United.
I mean, possible, you know. Yeah.
Like no, all Ralph thing aside is like I never see somebody who I like people go and tell me like bro it's because he don't have a grasp on English or no that is not it. No. Oh boy lives in a bubble. We have seen this from the man from the get go of all eras come to an end. And the man say last week before they play City we are hungry. Well by them and still starving based on how that game went down.
Well,
And
that's
yeah. So yeah, boy. Okay, cool. Nice. Moving on. There was actually a fight for the top four that happened this weekend where it went in 0-0 at halftime. By the end of the game, it was 4-0. Hey! Cause guess what, guys? The most Udai everything happen could happen. And it's that you playing at home, supposed to have the advantage, could have players to run in behind and still get it done in the end. So, what's your thoughts, guys? Spurs versus Aston Villa. Villa obviously lost 4-0. McGinn gets sent off. Who we have as favourites to finish fourth between the two of them right now?
ooh, I still think it might be. This is tough.
And that's Spurs, though, honestly. And it's not even like none of Rob's like just against Emery. It's also because, like, dog, these Europa knockout games starting, dog. Homeboy gonna prioritize that. That is just
I had
how
I
he
had
is.
Villa on the top of my tongue, but I don't know, boy. I don't know. Because what I'm thinking too is like, Madison come back, he look real good today, by the way.
Yup.
And when
Yup.
Madison playing good, it is a whole other thing to deal with. But like Bailey playing real good too. So
This
it's
is a
such a
daily
difficult
reminder
one.
that James Madison was too old for Chelsea to sign. Um,
I I think Emery's a better coach than Postecoglou.
yeah,
Spurs have a
yeah,
game in hand though. Spurs have a game in
yeah,
hand.
they do. Yeah, and
And
given the game in hand now, they could actually pass Villa in the table.
Do you
yeah,
know
Um,
who
if
that game in hand
anybody
is,
I
gets
Brandon? Do you
know
know that?
I am aware who the game in hand is, Brandon. We all
I don't even know it.
Chelsea. Oh, it's Chelsea.
Chelsea.
It's Chelsea. Yes. So yes.
But
Villa
Levin got
upcoming.
injured today,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
who
boy.
knows, but I'm going Villa,
Yeah.
I'm going Villa, I'm going Villa, I'm going Villa. Villa already ahead, they will stay ahead.
Villa upcoming fixtures before Brandon answer. They have to go to West Ham. They have to host Wolves. They have to go to Man City, host Brentford, go to Arsenal, host Bournemouth, host Chelsea. That is all within the next month, bro.
Great heavens. Meanwhile, Spurs playing Luton and thing.
Yeah, yeah. Now,
So maybe Spurs, maybe we
son with
thinking
a
Spurs.
goal and two assists. Hey, dog, I tell you that man was gonna come like a man on fire. You know. He gonna
Ooh,
carry them
but
to
check
top
this
scorer.
though. Spurs have a
Spurs had the death
player
run.
that had to play.
Spurs had the death run.
Yeah, what
They
the fuck
have
hell is that? They want to
Spurs.
play Newcastle at Newcastle, so they can't get thumped. They have to play Newcastle at Newcastle, then they have to play City, then Arsenal, then Liverpool.
Yeah, dog. They had the death
Who's
run.
scheduling this?
Bro,
Who's scheduling
and then they had to
fixtures?
play Burnley and Sheffield.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah.
Like,
So after it's sealed that they're not coming in top four, they go and punch up Sheffield. No problem.
Brandon, I need to answer. Who you have favorites? Who you have between two and first top four?
Boy, this is very hard. And I think the only reason I'm gonna say Spurs is because I do agree with you. I think Unai is going to prioritize the Europa,
Europa
yeah,
Conference, but yeah,
conference.
Conference.
And
Yeah.
I think that would be his the thing that he wants to do most.
Mhm.
I just think that Son will catch himself towards the end of the season. I expect Son to finish with plus 20 goals at the end of the season. I
hmm
also expect it to be Watkins, but I just feel like Spurs going forward, they look more potent on a day than Villa. Because Villa have had many days this season where I'm just like, God, why did I captain Watkins in my FPL? Like, this is not this is
Nah,
not
for
the
real,
day to
dog.
do that. So
yeah,
yeah, I'm gonna give it to Spurs. I gonna say Spurs. I think it'll be very close though.
yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
I'll be real with you. When Villa not playing at home, I do captain Watkins though. Sometimes that's bench more kind of thing. Cause like
I
them
bench Haaland this
Villa and
weekend.
Newcastle so weird, you know. I don't understand how Villa's so good at home, minus today, and so tragic away. And then Newcastle was like, okay, we see that, and we got one up here. We gotta be great at home, and we gotta be the worst thing possible. We gotta be Jablote when we play away, basically.
Ah boy. Okay, cool. Last question. Who all you think joining Sheffield and Burnley as of today to go down?
Oh, good boy, that is another tough question, and I'll tell
And
you
I
why.
sticking with my guns, dog, and I got somehow. But to be fair, they have a game in hand. I can't remember who it is against though. But I'm going with Luton to stay up. Like somehow. So Forest
So
has
they
Who
are
going down?
going down then.
Forest going down.
Forest. Forest, really? You feel I'm going right?
Now Forest 3 points ahead of them and well Luton have a game in hand. But Luton problem is dog is that they can't dog these be playing well and just don't win. Dog, these brothers is
Yeah.
putting good performances and then this draw and loss, but I don't understand that.
I'm surprised to see Forest this low because every time I watch them play, which is not
They
often,
actually
every time I
decent.
watch them play,
Yeah.
they decent. They make it hard for the opponent as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
No, it's
this is
true.
an interesting one.
Yeah.
Is Everton getting their points back? They aren't.
They got back the
Yeah, they
points.
got back
They
points
got it back
already.
and they're in 16 still, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
They didn't get back all the points, eh? They got back. I think
They
it's
get
four.
back four.
They
They
got
get
back
back
all.
four.
I thought it was, okay. Because it was 10 they had take away.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
10.
now it's a -6 that
Okay,
they have.
because I was about to say, like, dog. Oh.
Yeah.
But, no, it can't be Everton. Damn, if it's between Forest and Luton, I go Luton every day, dog. Sorry, John.
No,
I
I
don't think
understand.
Forest.
But
Yeah.
I believe in the dream though. No, these men fighting hard, but it just these men just start put it in the back of the net. And not just do it, you know. Though the days Luton just put it in the back of the net, there's also concede that same day, like four.
Concede 12.
Like, bro, that's so out of time, you know.
Dog, but
Um,
study a 1 year is back though. They
yeah.
someone a 1 year over the weekend. That could be a problem.
Though there's some here last
Um,
weekend too, dog. Against Liverpool, and he do nothing. But I
what
didn't
he
answer,
doing, you know,
guys.
dog. I find he
Well, you say Luton.
Luton.
Brandon.
I'm gonna go with. If not Luton, I'm going with Everton.
Okay. Yeah, boy.
God damn.
Nice, cool. Anybody who knows how much exactly that Harry Kane has in the league now?
26,
Woo.
No.
31,
20.
No.
55.
No. Only too low.
Okay.
Oh damn.
55 too low?
Oh no. I thought you
I
said
don't.
25.
27.
No.
Wait, 31 was too low? 31 was too low?
No, 31 is too high.
Oh, 29?
Too low. So
What the hell, boy?
he has 30.
55?
Harry Kane has 30 goals and he is on course to
Gosh,
break
it's March.
Lewandowski's record, for
I
most
mean,
goals in the
he's
league.
slight, you know, dog. He's a slight player, dog. Don't even start now, that man,
But
dog.
that is the most Harry Kane thing as they won this weekend, I believe. It was 6-0?
8, 8, 8, 1.
8
8-1.
1. My bad, yeah.
Someone told me that Harry Kane's form when his manager is in trouble might be the greatest player of all time.
Hey, but credit where is with Bayern Munich. The Harry Kane himself showed up in midweek when they needed to win against Lazio in the Champions League knockout.
Yeah, he did. He
And
did.
we can't knock them when they don't do it, and he showed up in a very
Yeah,
important
yeah.
moment for him. And so they
Yeah.
joined the
Over the weekend as well. Remember
Yeah.
they were 1-1 and he scored the winner. So or two. Look, whatever. I don't care. I don't watch. I'm not gonna pretend like I was watching Munich. All right.
Yeah.
Bro,
Uh,
mine's a 17th in the league.
I don't unless he Gnabry go along. Unless he that
Yeah, that was really good.
Oh, that
I
was
didn't see it.
insane. No, you hadn't seen it. It was like I kind of flicker around the corner. However, the more important thing is that the team that is undefeated continues to be undefeated. And as a Leverkusen
Right.
won 2-0 this weekend. Teller opened the scoring while Woods scored as well. Woods has 1 assist less than the most in the league. They are 10 points ahead with 9 games to go. It feels like a formality at this point, and it would take something massive for them to not do it, but I think that they will. and great achievement for Xabi Alonso and their boys after they also came back
Hmm.
from 2-0 down in the Europa League midweek, and now they are
Yeah.
2-all. So they have a must-win game in the midweek here. But given how the league going, I mean, I guess they could, prioritize that for a little bit. So yeah, and
This is really a good team, Like
yeah,
the team that they have, and I don't know how he managed to do it. Signings like Grimaldo on free, by the way, was just fantastic. I mean, yeah, he inherited some nice young players too. He got Hincapi and Tapsoba and all them and as well.
And
But like the Xhaka signing, the Grimaldo signing, and the system that he built for them
yeah,
is
it's
he
amazing.
he, he is doing God's work right now, dog. He really is.
A German team that won 2-0 this weekend that would have wished they could have won 2-0 in midweek. And this is where we'll translate over to La Liga after as well is RB
Ah
Leipzig.
boy.
They actually did put in a pretty good performance in the Bernabeu, but just had the most Luis Diaz moment ever and missed every opportunity in front of goal. Openda is the second highest scorer is the third highest scorer in the Bundesliga, is Leipzig's top scorer, but could not for the life of him find the goal in Real Madrid. And thus online sparked a conversation on when they watch how RB Leipzig ran right through Real Madrid as to how good of a coach, not manager, but how good of a coach is Carlo Ancelotti. What are you guys'
I
thoughts?
mean, look,
well,
I yeah, I'm not sure how. Yeah, okay.
No,
you
manager.
try to read that question, right?
But people question how good of a coach Carlo is. Not the
But they
manager in
won the
terms.
game.
No, I know. But in terms of how RB Leipzig made a lot of chances and were on top of the game for large portions and stuff like that. That a
So
team that was.
how good of a coach he is? I think okay. I think I see what you're saying. Uh, they're trying to poke holes in his system, basically.
Yes. Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, look, I think first of all that Leipzig is a good counter-attacking team.
Yeah.
So if you're going to give up some chances to some quick guys that can't finish, Leipzig is not the worst team to do that to. I don't think it was a full strength Real Madrid, but apart from the excuses and whatever, if I was to look at Carlo Ancelotti's strength as a manager, the thing that stands out to me most is man management. I think that he is
Oh,
phenomenal
that's
at.
this is what I'm saying, right? Like,
Mhm.
no, him that's to me that's undisputed with him. But people will question his tactics, his like and ability to like set up how well has he actually set up the team and because I
Right.
remember when he left Bayern, it was like a pretty well known thing that players were saying things like training sessions were really relaxed and he left players to to do what they want and stuff like that. That he's not really that in depth, and so
Mhm.
is that really important? Is it not? Because I mean, when you have a team that's literally littered with world class players, is it really that important for him to
It
be that tactically
it
in
is
depth?
important. It is. It is important. Real Madrid is probably the only team that he doesn't need to go in depth with because of the amount of beyond world class players that he has. But a testament to him as a tactician, for lack of a better term, on short notice he was able to build a system that gets the best out of one of their best players in Bellingham. And it's a very unconventional system. It works strange, but that system works in a way that they are top of the league. And Bellingham, who is the marquee signing, has 20 plus goals for the season.
Yeah,
So I think that's testament enough.
yeah,
And
Brandon.
it's an unorthodox system. He built it from scratch.
Yeah,
Yeah, I totally agree with Daniel. I think like the question Carlo is like is very I know the Madrid fans are some crazy sometimes, but I just think questioning Carlo is like not the right way to go about most of these things. Bellingham played false nine for the game. They don't have a recognized two recognized nines in the squad. They've had so much injuries this season.
hmm
And I mean, if we're being honest, I think that yes, Leipzig had. a lot of chances that they should have put away a few of, but at the same time, Liverpool, at the same time, Real Madrid definitely, if they had to, I think they would have
Going up
gotten
another
back into the
level.
game. And I
Yeah.
think when Rodrigo came on, I was kind of surprised he didn't start. I don't know if he had an injury or not, but if I think when he came on, the game changed drastically, and I think at that point they were in way more control than they had throughout the entirety of the game. So I wouldn't like Carlo is the least of my worries when it comes to that Real Madrid team.
Cool, nice. Speaking of Real lacking worries, they won this weekend 4-0 as they seem to continue to march towards the La Liga title. Um, Barcelona, on the other hand, this weekend won 1-0 through a pretty good goal by Yamal. Though. That's actually 13 goals and assists from him this season, which, while as a raw number does not sound that impressive when you consider this is his debut season. It's amazing, and like I think this kid is something else, boy. Like I really think that he's amazing. Um, Atletico lost this weekend though, but yeah, I think I want to say about that boy about Barca where it is right now. I think
Yeah,
more
boy, he
important
does
thing.
fucking piss me off, dog. But yeah, sorry, go ahead, go ahead.
I was going to say after you're done, you can talk about how you feel ahead of playing Napoli midweek.
Yeah. The Napoli game going to be exciting. I will be watching it intently. And kind of nervous as well. But we should be able to beat Napoli. I think Barca could beat Napoli.
Yeah.
Um, in Spain. One second. Stop it. All right. Yeah, I think we should be good to beat Napoli. For the league, kind of done. Moving on from that. Um, I am looking forward to what happens in the summer. I think the summer is a good opportunity for a fresh start,
Yeah.
new manager,
Yeah.
new players. Hopefully, sell some current players. I think De Jong wants to leave. Not sure how I feel about it, but if he goes, I'm cool. If he stays, I'm cool. Also, it's whatever at this point. I mean,
I heard of all they playing Napoli, Pedri and Frankie gonna be fit. Or
no, 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 no. Yeah, that is a sticky one, but I no, I really do think we could beat Napoli. I do. I think then we
yeah.
lose in the quarterfinals, but I think we could. I really do think we could beat Napoli, especially after I looked at how it was the first leg. I think Cancelo do them a lot of damage, and I expect him to have a really good game again.
Yeah.
And I hope that's enough. I really hope is enough. But yeah, but I've been more excited about the summer than anything else when it comes to Barcelona. I think it's a good opportunity for a fresh start.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Napoli also played on Friday, and well, they drew 1-1. I mean, they have been seeming a little bit better ever since Carl Zona has taken over, but it has not been exactly raining. Brandon, not so much on their league form, but how you feeling ahead of Barcelona versus Napoli?
I just want to say that pizza was invented in Naples, and Napoli have a coach that's named Calzona.
It's
I
I
crazy,
think
think
that's
right?
that's
very
very
hilarious.
cool. I
Yeah,
think
that's
that's
very
cool.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Another thing I wanted to say just before I get on the Barca thing is that you mentioned that Atletico lost. They also lost to Cadiz, which is like the third worst team in the league, and they lost 2-0. And I believe they don't have Griezmann. I think
Yeah,
he's
they
not going to be
don't.
available for the midweek.
And they have, yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
yeah. So like yeah, I don't. My whole thing about Atletico has changed drastically. For Barca though, against Napoli, I'll be so honest with you, bro. I truly think that it's as I don't like them at all, but I just feel like it's going to be Barca.
Yeah.
And
Me too. I think it will be Barca
and
too.
if I did not know that Frankie was injured, I did not know that. I knew Pedri was injured, but the Frankie one that kind of changed swayed me a little bit,
But
because he was rather than he was.
hear what
I
Brandon.
still think it's penalties, though. I still think it's penalties. So I'm gonna go with a draw, but
So
I still think it's penalties.
I tried to tell you who started in midfield in that game, and in the last league game, and I seen Yamal here. I see Rafinha also here. I see Gui here. I seen Felix here, Gundogan, and Christensen in the front
Yeah,
six, and the extent. Like,
very people.
I know Christensen has been playing DM a lot recently, but obviously their league isn't of the most importance right now. So I could understand if he's probably um not starting some players. Like, I mean, there's a very real chance we see Romero play midweek next to Gundogan in the midfield. No, no,
Nah,
it's not real.
quick as the Christiansen. We quick as the Christiansen.
Christensen, Gundogan, and
Yeah.
somebody. God knows who it might be, but yeah.
I seen Sergio
Um,
Roberto was on the bench too,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
yeah.
I wouldn't mind Roberto in that game because that was one of them experience games, I think. I also wouldn't mind one of the youngsters.
Yeah.
I think starting Yamal will be a tremendous oversight. I don't know what Xavi does really see in this man. He is 16 dog and he's played like a 16-year-old. If we're being honest, he is talented. Don't get me wrong, he is very talented. But when it comes to decisions in the final third, he acts like a 16-year-old because he is one.
Yeah.
So let's just go with Rafinha, dog. Let's just go with Rafinha. Just make it simple, man. Shit.
Well,
Just make it simple.
you're starting level, right?
Yeah, I'll start level. Yeah,
True,
I
man. You
mean,
have to. You
he's
have to.
the man scored in last game, dog.
You
He
have to.
scored against Napoli. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Brandon. Sorry to cut you off. I just was trying to get a gauge as to what the midfield may have looked like, and I did
Oh
nothing
yeah,
of the
no, bro.
sorts.
Honestly, I still think that it'll be. I still can't split the two teams. I think there are a lot of flaws in both of them. I think they both have a very good striker up top. I think they have a winner every like somewhere you look, you might find a winner somewhere.
Hmm.
But I'm just gonna leave it up to the gods, bro. And I gonna say penalties. I'm gonna give it a 2-2 by the
See
end of
no more.
extra time, and I'll leave it to the gods.
Yeah.
Penalties will definitely have me knocking out after because all my
And
adrenaline will be gone in that game.
so
Oh, you know what could be cool, dog? Imagine is Felix even fit? Felix is fit, right? I
yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah.
I think so. That's why I'm coming off the bench. Imagine him now in the midfield. They go 4-2-3-1. Him off of Lewa and just go on vibes. See what happens.
Yeah.
Could be cool, right? It
I
could
would
be.
do that.
Could be.
It could
I
be.
probably
Could be.
might do that, yeah. Especially if you're playing good now next to Christensen deeper. Hey, dog, we do the whole city thing, and I forget to say. I would like to say this season is a further example of people underplaying how important Ilkay Gundogan has really been for Manchester City for all these seasons, dog.
Oh God, you should have just leave that. You should just leave that. You should just leave that. When they win the league, you're gonna be like, oh well, you know.
That's true, that dog.
For real, boy.
No, fuck them. Brandon ruined my segue for when I was going to bring up Atletico and then actually go across to Inter. But well, Inter losses, not lost. They drew this weekend.
Uh-uh.
They won.
I 1
Yeah,
0
they
I
did. They
think.
won 1-0
The win.
also.
1-0. Yeah.
I think it's 1-0.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is
above,
out, you know.
yeah.
1-0.
B6 dog. Look. If all you see the ball
Bis-
Bastoni put for B6 to score. Hey, a man say this is the center back version of KDB dog. And he don't lie. That dog Bisek, never Bisek, but Stony if I center back could real cross to the
Wait, how
He's a real,
Bastoni put
he's
a
a
ball
real
for
player.
Bisek though?
dog. This is
Given
why I'm
that they are
telling
both centre
you,
backs.
bro. When they are on set pieces, Bastoni does not go into the box. Bastoni crosses the
Okay.
ball. He puts the ball in the box, dog. This is how
Oh,
skill level this man is operating on, dog.
so
Um,
Bastoni took a free kick and Bisek boom it in.
no, it was a corner and somebody they pass it out. This and Bastoni cross it to the back post. And Bisek
Mm,
score.
I like that.
Um. So
Not bad.
yeah, well, we already knew that Inter were marching to the title. Nothing has changed there. And however, the more important thing is the midweek game against Atletico Madrid. I think this is one of the best teams in the world, and especially given how things has fallen apart in recent weeks for Atletico, vis-a-vis the injuries and form as well. Even though they won last week and the week before, it hasn't exactly been clean. I think Inter should go through, and that's where I stand. You guys can tell me how you feel about it.
And I was seeing here that interested Lautaro, Marcus Thuram played in the game. Um,
Came off kind of,
Di,
yeah.
DiMarco also did not play in the game. Um, I just feel it's heavily in Inter's favor now, boy. With Griezmann being out, I can't see Atletico getting it over the line. The only thing I can think of is if Saul and Koke decide to conjure up some of that magic they had about 5, 6 years ago
Yeah.
and try and beat Inter. But other than that, I can't see anything but an Inter win. And it's so bad, bro. I even going to go with Lautaro to score in the game.
Ooh.
That's how I'm feeling about it. So
Okay. Nice.
Beautiful.
yeah.
Pats, I go for Mkhitaryan to score. So
I'm
right.
going for Hakan then.
Hey!
Yeah.
You going for him to go through as well, Pats?
Yeah, I think Atleti are just so not good without Griezmann.
Yeah.
I think Inter would mash them.
Cool. And the very last Champions League fixture we'll close off with this is PSV versus Dortmund. Dortmund won this weekend because they remembered who they are, and as if they remember who they are come midweek, is the real question. So I go for PSV to go through still.
Damn,
Yeah.
I'm going Dortmund. It's in Germany.
I'll be
Like,
real though. I really had that much faith in that, but you know what's the problem? The chances is fault to that. There's fault to that Tillman fella, and he's very unserious. Like not just about playing for PSV, he's unserious about football in general. And when I see that man play for the US, I get sure that he's horrible. Like that man
oh yeah,
cannot finish.
Wait, he's American?
Yes,
yeah.
he is
Bro,
trash.
everything makes sense, dog. Everything makes sense.
No, the man is trash. He is trash. So there's every chance it's fault to somebody else. But sure. You all see
I
Dortmund.
just like to put it out. I just like to put it out there, like to the 46% viewership that we have in the Americas. We was just joking. We don't think he's trash. You know,
Oh
we don't think
no,
he's
I'm
trash.
not joking. I think he's trash. You all are better players to use than that man though. He's terrible. Don't just assume because he played in Europe, he's good. I wish Trinidad might start to do that though. It might work. But hey, Trinidad playing Canada soon to see who goes up to the Copa America. So that means congrats to Canada to go to the Copa. But hopefully, we can actually pop a little fight because although we lost to Jamaica the other day, right? So my hopes ain't really that high. But yeah.
Canada not very good at the moment. That's what we have a chance. We have a chance.
So yeah, Brandon and Pat's all going for Dortmund, right?
I would just like to say
You
before I
want
go for
to it? Why
Dortmund,
didn't you see yes?
I just want to say no. I just want to say we gotta start changing their name to Fourth Mund because they're currently fourth in the Bundesliga. I don't know how they reached
How?
fourth. I don't know where
How?
Stuttgart come from.
No.
Jurassic Park. I got if you come to the
Mm-hmm.
Prem, that's my FPL name next year. Just let all them know.
Mm-hmm.
But bro, I'm gonna lie to you. I would I last week I would have said Dortmund, and then I just watched them play, boy. And what I said is just it just continues to be true. They're just not a very consistent team, and you never know what you're going to get from them. And they scored a very lucky goal. They they probably should have been down 4-1 at one point.
Yeah.
So I will give it to Dortmund, but however, I'm going to go with my boy Joey Veerman to take PSV through in an alternate timeline.
However, though, we possibly facing a Champions League knockouts that could have, you know, Barca, Dortmund, Inter, Arsenal, PSG, Bayern, Man City, and Real Madrid. That is some pretty decent names you're looking at there. People
Mm-hmm.
complained about not seeing big name matchups now. In this round going here, but nobody getting away from it next round, no matter who it
Oh
may.
yeah, yeah,
True.
yeah.
True.
And yeah, it's gonna be glorious. Okay, Prats, for both me and you, sake, bro. I hope we are both in the Champions League quarterfinals. I really do
I
mean
hope
that.
so too.
And
Sticky for both of us. I think we play at the same time, man.
yeah, we are playing at the same time. I will have on your game too, though, but it
Hmm.
will be on the
Nah,
screen,
for sure.
whereas the
But
Arsenal
wow.
game will be on the projector.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Brandon, give me a prediction for tomorrow. Newcastle versus Chelsea. Hey,
Newcastle winning 2-0.
bro, you are the worst. I mean, hey,
All right. I'll be serious. I'll be serious. I think we're going to win 3-1, and
yeah.
I think Jackson scoring two tomorrow.
How you felt about Modric playing calm the other day? Well, attacking midfield, but
Bro, Modric could play anywhere he wants and drop a 10 out of 10 performance. He get mentioned next game, so it really don't matter.
Facts.
nice, cool. Okay, cool guys. We can leave it there. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys for being here. We love you guys. Enjoy your Champions League week. We will have some special stuff over the international break. We will do the predictions pod. I have some guests lined up to come on the pod as well. And we'll get some content out to you guys as we enjoy the last international break before we go into the running for the final of the season. And yeah, catch you guys next time. See you soon. Take it easy. Later.